The annual cycle of Onslaught continues with the launch of the season of the Crimson Pegasus.
I was kind of excited about this, but I'm not really sure if it will convince me this time, because the last season wasn't very enjoyable. It was mostly frustration, like the ranked battles. Of course, yeah. Take away the ammo rank again.
New maps,
3 of them,
interesting modifiers, and of course, rewards await you. Charge into Onslaught.
To be honest, without rewards, nobody would play this actually, or very few people would play this. I would say not even half of the people who are playing it now would play it without any rewards which are like given to them.
Playing this and following seasons will give you the chance to receive annual rewards at the end of the year's 3 seasons. They include spectacular 2D styles and decals.
Really, those decals and the skins are not worth it, in my opinion, completely. They are very cheap looking somehow, at least the first 3 of them. The gold one and the purple one is okay, but everyone has its own opinion about it, so I'm completely fine with whoever wants to play this just for the skins, but it's definitely worth the time, in my opinion.
Equipment, crew members, and a new Tier 10 tank.
Equipment is nice, crew members of course too, but the new Tier 10 tank is, yeah, like expected, not
the
so
Hurricane.
This Hurricane, it's actually a CS63.
The tank based on the familiar CS63, but with its own fearsome name and unique look.
It got a fearsome name, okay, who gives it, you know? This could have been a 3D style, and it would have been okay, but now we have to make it a its own tank, so I don't know. Of course, if you want to collect as many tanks as you want, and you want to play lots of Tier 10 tanks, and maybe Clan Wars and stuff, but I think for the normal random player, it's completely unnecessary.
Beauty will befit its owner's mastery. What's also important is the opening of the Onslaught shop with...
This is actually very interesting, because you can, as it looks, buy now one of the old reward tanks. Very funny in my opinion is that they show here that the KP set and the Concept 1B are Tier 11 tanks. Maybe they feel like it because they are very strong Tier 9 tanks actually. Yeah, so it's very fair that you can buy them, finally, in a pawn shop, but you have to reach the gold rank. And this is kind of hard for the normal person, for normal random player.
Items for bonds, now available for the first time since the discontinuation of ranked battles. This is the only...
And you can see the price for them is not too hardcore. If we could go back a little bit here. It's 16,000 bonds, and you can make it cheaper if you reach higher ranks here. Of course, not like the Skoda, it's not 50%, you get something less. But at least you can get a little discount, and it's a little bit more than the Tier 10 tanks at the pawn shop, but at least they are available. And for collectors or for people who want to play them, they have no chance. But reaching gold, I think it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard for the average player, maybe even impossible if you're an average guy with around 50% win rate. Could be too much. But they are very strong, very good Tier 9 tanks. I've heard a lot of good stuff about them.
This is the only place to purchase rare improved equipment. The compounds.
Let's go back to that equipment, because the turbo can be useful, okay, but I'm not sure if that thing comes in handy at any case. But okay, if you have nothing else to do with your bonds, so why not?
It's rare improved equipment. The compounds of 50T and Concept 1B.
You can here you can see it's a maximum of 30%, which is quite good, but you have to reach the highest rank, so it's almost impossible.
Tanks with their exclusive styles, and the even rarer 114 SP2 tank destroyer.
That thing for 20,000 bonds, it's quite a lot, but this thing is one of the best Tier 10 tanks actually, because okay, it's normally played by very skilled players, so not that many battles actually, but if you're a very good player and you get your hands on this thing, it's possible actually to make average 3,000 damage in this thing. It seems to be a very good tank actually, but you have to want to play Tier 10 battles.
The items you unlock and discounts you receive depend on the maximum rank you manage to reach during the season. The missions remain too. Complete them to earn lucky chips and grab rewards.
As you have seen, this may be in my Onslaught videos, I love to grind this lucky chip shit, but at least this is something which draws normal players towards this game mode, which is nice. So join that thing, try to make some battles, get the bonds, which are quite a lot if you play for some weeks, but normally just around, I think, 15 to 20 battles normally to get these missions if you're lucky. And then you can collect those bonds which are in here if you do it on more weeks. But also you get some credit, so it's not that expensive to play the game mode actually.
You need to play and win to reach all the prizes. Now the process will be even more competitive, enjoyable, and varied.
Competitive and enjoyable. Of course, yeah. I have to laugh a little bit about this. Okay, competitive in World of Tanks is always a kind of an issue because there's a lot of random shit going on, which is not giving you like always a fair chance against someone else, so it's very difficult to compare stats in this game actually. But yeah, joyful. I don't know anyone who actually enjoyed playing this game for a longer time. It's always very frustrating, grindy. So if this time it would be more enjoyable, I would appreciate that very much.
3 new maps have been added. Oyster Bay, with slight changes like new cover in E5.
Oyster Bay, I don't know why, because I think it's far too large for 14 people on this map. Don't know if this works, how they want to work it out, but normally you have then maybe a reason to play a light tank to get those guys spotted over that big area, but I don't know. I don't see Oyster Bay so much actually.
Studzianki, with new buildings and an expanded ditch in the center.
Nice, there's now a big fat hole, but this map might work actually. It's not too big, but normally you just have 2 sides where the battle is going on, so this will be very interesting how this will develop. I think it's everything which is important goes on in that little city in the middle. Might be a cool brawl location, I don't know.
Outpost, with new paths to the hill in D4 through D5 and E4.
Outpost has actually like 3 tunnels, kind of, where you have to go, the middle, the left, or the right side, and I don't see many people actually pushing through the east side then, through the right side, because you will get spotted very easily from the middle and then get like punished extremely. So I think everyone has to go through the west side then, and some people will brawl in the middle. Could be interesting, but I'm seeing it going to the wrong direction somehow. I don't think this is working, but I hope it will work.
You can find your own recipe for victory on each of the new maps. Small details have also been improved on some previous locations.
Small details have been improved and they show somewhat getting ammo wrecked. That's my kind of humor.
For example, on Overlord, the base and points of interest have been moved.
This is interesting because the base was exactly at the spot where you could play hull down and everyone was just going to that one spot, besides some people who don't want to play the game at all and were completely somewhere else. But this brings new wind into this map, which is nice.
On Glacier, vegetation has been added in F2 through G2.
There's now a bush where, I don't know, a very small light tank can sit, or a tank destroyer, and makes it absolutely impossible to fight for the base in the middle. I don't know, Glacier was my favorite map on this game mode, but maybe it will be just fine, I don't know.
And on Ensk, a new comm center has been added to the green.
Amazing! Okay, well, maybe this is important for that map, but normally in that city map, everyone's just smashing its heads against each other in the middle, so I don't know.
While the previous one in the city area has been moved.
Kind of
Himmelsdorf has left Onslaught for revision.
Yo, so it's actually just 2 more maps, because one dropped out, which was Himmelsdorf, which was the worst map in this game mode, but I can see why they want to revisit it. It kind of had like a awkward gameplay if everyone is on the east side, or everyone is on the west side, and it's just 1 or 2 people are not going there, and then you have actually lost because the map is kind of very small, and then it's over.
It will return in the future. Modifiers affect gameplay in Onslaught even more. 2 old ones. Plus 25% to vehicles' HP and accelerated consumable cooldown allowed players to survive longer and make mistakes less fatal.
Absolutely necessary because the game would be just spend 2 minutes. Of course, every mistake will be punished much too hard. As it is now, actually, every mistake is punished already very hard. So you only can like make 2 or 3 mistakes and then you're almost dead. Yeah, okay.
They will stay, and 3 new modifiers will be added. The first improves general accuracy. Dispersion at 100 meters is reduced by 0.15 for all vehicles.
I'm very excited about this, because this could actually make the game kind of enjoyable. If you actually are able to hit weak spots kind of precisely, it makes now sense to brawl against someone, because otherwise you're just throwing the dice, and sometimes you're so unlucky that you always lose, and they hit your weak spots, of course, and then you don't want to play the game after 4 or 5 matches anymore, and it fucks it up completely. So this is actually very interesting. I hope this will work and make the game just more enjoyable, and not like certain death you drive behind the corner out in the field and you get hit in your weak spots the whole time. That's a thing which could happen, but also I think I would be more okay with this than just never hitting my shots on those weak spots ever, which is kind of a feeling right now.
This will make shooting from range and at weak spots more stable. The next 2 modifiers affect the spotting system. Proximity spotting distance is reduced from 50 meters to 25.
Very interesting. I think this is a right decision, because it makes it like more easily to hide from other people. You're just 7 people and then you're getting proximity spotted so easily all the time, because everyone's like on the same corner. Maybe this makes light tanks now even more important, which would be cool, because you haven't seen lots of them in the last Onslaught rotation.
While vehicle detection time is reduced from 10 seconds to 3.
Very
this will
interesting
increase
as well.
the value of players' focus and information from allies, while also adding more tactical options.
I think this is great, because now you can drive behind cover and get like camouflaged again, and this would make much more strategic options available. I hope
now it will be easier to retreat or flank the enemy.
All in all, it seems much better than the last
modifier
rotation.
Doesn't affect recon flight spotting time. All these values may be adjusted during the season. Modifiers work only in the Onslaught mode and are the same for all players.
I am sure this will never happen actually, that the mouse is like sniping away the EPR. Okay, it can happen of course, but why do I pick this promoting the mouse? I don't know, the EPR is much too fast and always far away from every shot you can hit. It's actually...
The list of rental vehicles has also been updated. Now you can play in Onslaught using the CS63.
Was very good in the last rotation, a lot of people played it. If you're good,
Minotauro.
it's very helpful. Minotauro, okay,
And the
Minotauro is just gonna be annoying. I can tell you, every new player will just take this thing and will sit held down somewhere and be annoying. But that's okay, maybe it will make the game a little bit slower, but I don't like to play against this thing, so I don't know why I've chosen this thing.
AMX M4 MLE 54.
And this is actually a decent
and of
choice.
course,
It's a fair
the
tank.
leaderboard and 7 players
Now,
super
now
platoon
after the
are
buffs
still
kind of
here.
balanced and cool to play.
Form your dream team and fight your way to the top together. It's time for new legends.
Wonderful. So I'm looking forward to this rotation of Onslaught. I have the fear it will be awful and horrible again, but with like reducing the aim circle and the new spotting system and the reduced time for getting or for being spotted, this will be maybe a very cool rotation. I like that you can get rewards now in the reward one shop. Price is kind of high, but still fair considering the amount of time you had to use to get to these tanks in the ranked battles. So nothing much to complain here. Just hope the grind will not be too horrible and looking forward to play it.